Hello, and thank you for joining us. The 216th meeting of the National Council on the Arts is now in session. Oh, that was loud. Welcome to the members of the National Council on the Arts, our NEA staff, and members of the public. Thank you for making the time to be with us today. Present online at today's meeting are the following members of the National Council on the Arts: Ishmael Ahmed of Michigan, Bit Becker of Navajo Nation, Bruce Carter of Florida, Gretchen Gonzalez Davidson of Michigan, Maria de Leon of Texas, Aaron Dworkin of Michigan, Camilla Forbes of New York, Paul Hodes of Maine, Emil Kang of New York, Huascar Medina of Kansas, Christopher Morgan of California, Fiona Whelan Prine of Tennessee, Jake Shimabukuro of Hawaii, Connie Williams of Pennsylvania, and Michael Lombardo of California. Thank you all for being here. Established by Congress, the National Endowment for the Arts is an independent federal agency charged with making the arts available to all Americans. For our first order of business, can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the May 2025 council meeting?
So moved, Mrs. Becker.
A second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Now I would like to introduce Jennifer Eskin. She is the Senior Advisor for Programs and Partnership at the National Endowment for the Arts, and she will be discussing voting on the voting for recommendations for funding. Jen?
Thank you. Now we will proceed with the application review section of the agenda. The tally of the votes will be announced at the end of today's session. The council will be voting today on award recommendations in the National Initiatives category. For your vote to be tallied, you must be joining the meeting via video conference or telephone at the time of the motion, discussion, and the vote. Council members joining us by video conference or phone, you must email your votes to Kim Jefferson immediately at the conclusion of this part of the meeting. Council members' affiliations are recorded in the council book and later will be attached to your emailed votes. Each member has been provided an opportunity to update this information prior to the meeting. Council members are recorded as not voting on applications with which they are affiliated. This list becomes part of the agency's official record. May I have a motion to consider the recommendations in the council book?
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
And a second. Thank you. I will now summarize the National Initiatives category and then ask you to mark your ballots. National initiatives support a wide variety of projects of national and field-wide significance. At this meeting, the council is requested to approve funding for 2 projects. Support is requested for the Mayor's Institute on City Design, a program that assists mayors with urban design challenges, promotes design excellence and economic revitalization, and enhances the livability of communities across the country. And a national services initiative that will support research, information, and professional development services for the National Endowment for the Arts, state art agencies, and the 6 regional arts organizations, in cooperation with the agency's state and regional program and research and analysis staff. Council members, you may now email your votes to Kim Jefferson. Thank you. And I return it to Mary Ann.
Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. I'm going to take a few minutes to share some updates on the work of the National Endowment for the Arts. Since our last meeting at the beginning of May, 2 National Endowment for the Arts programs have celebrated, I guess, what we would call student spirit, student creativity, and student artistry. In early May, The National Endowment for the Arts and our partners at the Poetry Foundation welcome students from every state, American Samoa, the District of Columbia, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands to the national finals of the Poetry Out Loud contest. This year was particularly special because we celebrated the program's 20th anniversary. Since 2005, more than 4.5 million students have participated in this poetry recitation competition. This year alone, we had more than 157,000. In honor of the 20th anniversary, the National Endowment for the Arts and the Poetry Foundation created a new video about the program, working with the 2024 national champion, Nivea Glover, and several local schools. And I'm pleased to share that video with you here today, and hopefully it'll play.
Can you hear that? Sound buzzing within. At first, almost silent, even to your own ears. It's waiting to break free. Let a poem find you. Listen. Lean in. Something's waiting for you. Words rumble with rhythm, lines whisper with wisdom. Each letter has a pulse, each stanza a mood, carrying a sound, a voice. A song emerges. That's you. That's your sound. Memories humming, dreams drumming, every joy, every scar, every hope, every roar, lifting, shifting, shaping what it means to be alive. Those words echo within you, daring you to open your mouth. Inhale. Listen to your breath. Poem is the fuel, and you are the flame. The voice is unknown until you set it free. So, are you ready to share your voice?
But it is amazing. It gives me the chills. I loved her in particular. I love that poem in particular. It is such a great program. If you have not been to one of the Poetry Out Loud finals, please come one year. It is, if you want to be uplifted and say, and believe that the youth of America are in good shape, watch these finals because it is just amazing. On May 7th, Isabel Mendoza, who is a 12th grade student at Lehigh Valley Charter High School for the Arts in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, he won the 2025 Poetry Out Loud National Championship. Interestingly enough, this was the first year that his school participated, and they produced a national champion. So, encourage other schools. Take this up as an encouragement to sign up for POL. If you are interested in watching additional interviews with our contestants and more of these poetry recitations, visit our YouTube page, which you can find on our website. And stay tuned for more information on the 2025-26 competition, and it should be a dandy. Musical Theater Songwriting Challenge, another one of my favorites. In June, 8 very, very talented student songwriters came to New York as part of the culmination of this year's musical theater songwriting competition. This is an opportunity for high school students to develop and showcase original compositions that could be part of a musical theater production. So throughout the past year, our partners at the National Alliance for Musical Theater have offered online master classes and coaching sessions open to all students to participate. All participants who submitted a song received personalized feedback and an opportunity to revise their song. Then a committee of leaders within the musical theater field judged these final submissions. The 8 winning songs were then professionally orchestrated, and while in New York, the students worked with a mentor and musicians to hone their orchestrations while learning about process, technique, and production. And then at a very special concert on Monday, June 16th, the students and their mentors each presented their songs, which were performed by Broadway musicians. We have a short clip for you from this concert with Leela Kumar. She's a junior at Howell High School in Monmouth County, New Jersey. And her mentor, Andrea Daly, introducing Leela's original song, Dancing Through a Dream.
Tonight's song, Dancing Through a Dream, comes at a pivotal moment in the show where our main character, Ava, a freshman in high school who feels like she never fits in, finally steps out of the shadows and reclaims her voice. This song captures her initial vulnerability and showcases her inner courage to step into the spotlight. And speaking of Ava, tonight I'm handing the spotlight over to the amazing Claire Kwan, who brings Ava to life with so much heart. You may have seen her play the lead in Maybe Happy Ending on Broadway. Also joining her is Michelle Dowdy playing the role of Emma and Gabby Karuba playing the role of Noah. I am so excited for you to see what they've brought to this moment. Thank you.
A dream, oh, we have this fire, this flame that burns inside our minds, but in a group of people, it's all about what they'll say and why. Run away from the crowd. If you keep getting lost, just spin out of it all, or you'll pay the cost. What is that cost? Out of the spotlight, always feeling it's on my life, barely reaching. Nothing's really as it seems. Dancing through, when I sing, the echoes always fade to blue, and nothing changes. Wait for the spotlight to beam. Dancing through a dream. Oh, if I glow in the dark and no one's by my side, do I ever really shine, or is it just inside? Just inside, just inside. She sings for herself.
Thank you. I love that. It's amazing. Can you imagine high school students getting Broadway stars to sing a song they wrote? I love our programs, which especially show the future of the arts. Both Poetry Out Loud and this musical theater writing challenge do that. And the agency is really, really proud of both of those competitions. And if you want to catch the next Stephen Sondheim, check out the entire concert on our website. It's worth the watch. I really want to thank our partners at National Association of Musical Theater, as well as Concord Theatricals, Disney Theatrical Group, and NPA Songs Foundation, and the Sherry and Les Spiller Family Foundation, who all collaborated in this year's challenge. So thank you so much. Also in May, the National Endowment for the Arts and our partners at Blue Star Families kicked off another summer of Blue Star Museums. This program continues through Labor Day. There are currently more than 1,500 museums from all 50 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and Guam, offering free admission to military families this summer. And museums, you can still sign up at all summer long at arts.gov/Blue Star Museums. For our map, you can find your participating museum, or a museum can sign up there. And then, of course, I want to talk just a bit about Creative Forces. This June, the National Endowment for the Arts, along with our partners at Mid-America Arts Alliance, we're proud to announce the next round of Creative Forces Community Engagement Grants. Through grants to 48 organizations, we will support community-based art projects that aim to address the experiences, challenges, and strengths of our military communities. The Creative Forces Clinical Program brings creative art therapies to military personnel and veterans who are experiencing post-traumatic stress, mild traumatic brain injury, and related psychological illnesses. These community engagement grants will expand the reach of Creative Forces to even more military-connected people nationwide. It also provides continued community-based opportunities for supporting health and well-being for people who have received or are currently participating in creative art therapies through the clinical program. I am pleased to welcome our Creative Forces Director, Bill O'Brien, to give us a quick update on Creative Forces.
Thanks, Marianne. As you mentioned last month, we were proud to announce the latest round of the Creative Forces Community Engagement Grants supporting military-connected communities nationwide through non-clinical arts engagement. Today, I'll be providing an update on the Creative Forces Clinical Program and our associated research efforts. These are carried out in partnership with the Department of Defense and Veterans Affairs and receive administrative support from the Henry M. Jackson Foundation for the Advancement of Military Medicine. Next slide. Our clinical program currently includes 32 creative arts therapists, also known as CATs, who deliver art therapy, music therapy, and dance movement therapy to military and veteran patients across the country. Since 2017, these therapists have provided care to over 25,000 patients, delivering more than 140,000 individual therapy sessions. We're working to support a growing evidence-informed model that integrates the creative arts therapies into patient care in meaningful and lasting ways. Slide 10. Creative Forces was developed to help respond to the signature wounds of our recent wars. Since the year 2000, more than 515,000 service members have been diagnosed with traumatic brain injuries, and nearly 30% have experienced post-traumatic stress disorder in any given year. But these challenges extend far beyond the military. More than 15 million Americans are diagnosed with PTSD each year. Our work aims to provide arts-based tools for healing and recovery for our military and veteran populations who are dealing with these challenges. Next slide. Within the Department of Defense, our clinical work is embedded in the Defense Intrepid Network for TBI and Brain Health. Here, creative arts therapies are part of a holistic interdisciplinary model where patients receive art, dance movement, and music therapies alongside conventional treatments such as psychiatry, speech-language therapy, neuroimaging, and wellness services. This integration allows a fully integrated patient-centered care approach. Slide. Now we'd like to share a short video clip that offers a glimpse into the powerful impact that these creative arts therapies can have in this integrated model. The film includes perspectives from our creative arts therapists, DoD clinical partners, and service members receiving care at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage, Alaska, one of our first partner sites. A link to the full video should be able to be found in the chat. Go ahead and play the clip.
The goal of everything that we do as a military medical service is to support a member in doing their job effectively. It's critical that we provide evidence-based, safe, effective patient care.
You have a head injury, we have to clear you to get back to active duty, make sure you're okay. We owe everything to those people. They have put their lives, their brains on the line in service of their country, and we want to make sure that we set them up for success in the future.
Here at JBEAR, we know that music and art facilitate healing in a very powerful way.
Creative Forces is a partnership between the National Endowment for the Arts and the Department of Defense. JBEAR, or Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, is one of those sites.
I realized it was time to start taking a little bit better care of myself. And you're like, oh, wait a second. I have a headache. You know, why do I have a headache? I found my way into the J-Bear TBI clinic. And through the TBI clinic, they asked me, do I want to do art therapy or music therapy? And I was like, you know what, I'd really like to try the music therapy. When I met Danielle, I said, hey, I'd like to play the guitar. Okay, there's the...
Well, John's kind of a badass, and playing an instrument can be very vulnerable. And using that to help his pain relief and to help his coping and stress, I think is just so huge for someone who is so amazing at his job.
Pain management through music is pretty effective.
All right, so show me a little bit what you worked on here.
So I worked on the getting both.
Good.
Sometimes it doesn't affect the pain at all. What it affects is the other things that are multiplying the pain, the anxiety, the stress. And to be able to take the time and pick up a guitar, even if it's just 10 minutes, it switches my brain off from what I'm so used to. And then you can look at the pain and say the pain's really not that bad.
And breathe for me.
You can see the brain waking up as the patients are engaged in these therapies and regaining their capabilities substantially over time.
So as Major Jonathan Brown, who began and ended that clip, mentioned, he's the mental health flight commander at J-Bear, and he said to effectively support our service members in recovering from invisible wounds, we must provide care that is safe, effective, and evidence-based. Creative Forces has been working to support our DoD and VA partners in advancing this vision through research. Next slide. In the fall of 2023, we convened over 100 clinicians and researchers from across the DoD, VA, and Creative Arts Therapies communities for a 2-day research summit on the state of the science of creative arts therapies for treating military and veteran populations. A review of 25 peer-reviewed studies published by Creative Forces by that time revealed several consistent priority themes of interest across our creative arts therapies research. These include recovery from trauma through meaning making, positive reframing, and verbal processing, reduction of symptoms tied to TBI, PTSD, and chronic pain, improved emotional expression and awareness of physical and mood states, development of healthy coping strategies, signs of hope and gratification within strength-based rehabilitation, and increased social connectedness and decreased isolation and stigma. And I apologize, that slide should have been advanced while I went through that list. Go ahead and advance now. And let's go ahead one more to slide 14. Following the summit, we held a series of roundtable discussions to identify key areas of future research. These priorities now guide our ongoing clinical research strategy, with a focus on physical health, which includes improving pain management, mobility, sleep, and fatigue, cognitive functioning, supporting memory, attention, and decision-making, and coping and self-efficacy, strengthening resilience, reducing anxiety and depression, and fostering purpose. We'll continue to share new findings on our Creative Forces clinical research on our webpage, which you should be able to link in the chat. Otherwise, you can always go to arts.gov/Creative Forces and find any new goings on around Creative Forces there. Finally, be on the lookout this fall when we'll be releasing our next round of Creative Forces Community Engagement Grant Guidelines around Veterans Day, November 11th. Now back over to you, Marianne.
Thank you, Bill. For those of you who were familiar with my former tenure here, I love our Creative Forces program. I come from a military family. I think the work Bill and his team and the expansion team now through the years has done is incredible. And this is again another aspect of the agency that I'm super proud of, being able to help our veterans and our military folks, and now expanding into helping their caregivers as well. So, so thank you, Bill, for all you do. And I should just say, we showed quite a few videos. We showed the POL video, the musical theater video, and the Creative Forces video. We also have a video of our clinical facility in Tampa that you might want to catch. I'm not sure it has been cleared yet, but it will be up soon. And more musical theater and more poetry out loud. So if you want to go take a look, please do, because there is amazing art going on out there in the world, and we're trying to share it with as many people as possible. So as a final piece of business, I am pleased to announce that the National Council on the Arts has reviewed the applications presented to them, and that a tally of the council members' ballots revealed that all recommendations for funding have passed. And I thank all of you for coming. I thank Bill again for joining us. Appreciation to all the students out there who have participated over the last year, that we could culminate in such great events in New York and here in DC. And I hope everyone has a great rest of the summer, and we will see you in the fall. Thank you so much. The 216th meeting of the National Council on the Arts is now adjourned.